Do we think the real person to stop? Because when in game one, Chibi was the one who really got shut down.
Yep.
And I think depending on what jungler Chibi...
Oh,
but he banned it anyways.
It's a throwaway, man.
What?
It's a throw.
You notice Suyo is coming.
I mean, they could have been Hylos, but they might want Hylos, right? They could have been Cho, but they might want Cho. And RQ's known for this. They'll give over a pick to get some trades back, right?
What if RQ picks up the Valentina? But then Warlord will pick up the Sicilian. Sicilian Carmilla could come back.
That's.
Oh, but then you don't know who Sutsujin will be using.
I mean, I think they could lock in the Joy here and be okay with it, right? I mean.
Also,
You mean for RQ?
Boy Valentina? Like.
Even though they had a little trouble with the last game.
Gatot, yeah. Gatot E.
Ah.
So the Valentina's gonna get locked in here. And Hylos is not a good matchup against the Eve, but some teams do brute force it.
I'm not sure if like Smooth wants to play that. Sorn, I have a feeling he doesn't. The Cho is still available for Vamos too, but
Has
they
lost
to
both
play
games,
it
by the way.
with the,
Cho has lost both games, just to remind you guys.
Yeah, they could just not go Cho. I mean, honestly, RQ could look for something similar that they had in game one and look for that last pick jungle again. Maybe lock in like the Granger here as their third pick, like what they did in game one, and keep their draft very open, very flexible. Because they had a lot of advantage in game one when they had that flexible, they had something similar. I don't think it was the Hylos and the, but they go for Skylar on the Wan. So now RQ's falling into comfort.
Yeah, because they see the Hylos, and no matter what hero Zorn picks up, they're very comfortable with this kind of lineup.
So there's a could there be a chance that the blue comes up?
Banned. It has been banned, yeah.
No, it seems like they were able to set this up. Even the Irithel now taken out, although we know for a fact that Nets is really comfortable with a carry for the entire series.
But now Vamos can ban Susujin. Although to be fair, Susujin is kind of hard to ban against.
He is, bro.
Carry's a little tough against Juan. I know that they had a good game last game with the carry, but honestly, it's if RQ is playing well and pressuring right, it could back.
That's a good ban.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
And that's what we've gotten to in this point. It's like just targets, like, all right, this is giving us trouble. Does Vamos ban out the Ruby here?
Vamos,
and then go back to picking something up like the Jawhead or something like that, like something that can control mid.
honestly, that could work well for their last ban. And for RRQ, Nets hero once again.
Something about that guy.
I mean, Team Spirit used it against them one time, so it wasn't like
It was one time.
it was one time.
But this is uno, dos, tres, hala, vamos.
Or they go for like, they can always ban out the Alpha here, ban out the Hayabusa if they really think that RQ's going to go something like a
Hayabusa ban.
Oh, Hayabusa is banned, yeah.
If they respect the joy.
The choice and really just the joy, the alpha, the Nola. Oh, but
Matilda.
they ban out the Matilda here. So does Sutsujin want to go for like another assassin or the alpha? I mean, they have the Eve.
I think they're still safe. I think they saved jungle for last pick, right?
Yeah, pick up someone tankier here too. I mean, Ruby's open if they want to go that route.
Ruby and Eve, the Ruby Eve combo is also vicious. You hold everyone inside of the RWM as much as possible. Tig also open, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Option.
It's just that you don't want to give Warlord.
Yeah.
Oh, Franco?
Oh, wait.
Franco, one. Whoa.
Okay.
This is a skill.
Answer.
Yeah, it's an answer.
It's a skill pick. I mean, Franco's always an answer. It's always a possibility. It's a high risk, high reward, right?
Dude, the Valentina will get the bloody hunt for themselves too. So
Does the Valentino want to get that close though?
that's
I mean, it's decent like peel. It's decent like if you're coming at me, but
I mean,
Implosion's worth it.
you could,
Bloody hunt is a little risky.
if you can get it on the 1-1.
Yeah, then you're.
that sounds a lot.
Although Gato can kind of stop that. Like he can taunt you out of it. So Vamos, the last pick is going to be very crucial here.
Carry.
They pick up the carry and the Jawhead. So whatever worked, pick it up again.
What's the jungler?
Okay.
Last pick jungler.
What's the jungler?
Like Alpha is still open. They could just round themselves out with something like that.
I want to go
Yeah.
crazy Seek Ranger, but I don't know.
Don't go. Whatever you do, RQ.
I mean, additional CC would work, but
Time to grab the beat of the flash.
they're
Beat of
picking
the
up
Flash.
the beat of the flash. We're picking up the beat of the flash.
All right, so yeah, this time we're gonna see if Susujin gets to dance to the beat of the flash. We're gonna see how T-Bless works. This is gonna be very interesting tracks. Let me just say, if this happens, whatever happens in the last series of the day,
Down to this again, we got a preview of the draft. Here's one last look from Malaysia. The hometown villains, like they like to call them, or it's gonna be the kingdom. RQ Hoshi. We've just seen one of the fastest, or the fastest games in game 2 that Team Vamos got a victory off of. This time around, we'll see how this all plays apart. interesting lineups, you know. I know we had some similar reactions going through the draft as the panel. But yeah, I'm wondering if Susujin's going to have a better time in the jungle this time because we know how fast Chibi got going. Whoa.
That's a focusing mark on the Jawhead. Zorn, an interesting choice to go for. He didn't go for this earlier, right? I think he went for Concussive Blast in the mid lane. Rin's almost just got a solo kill on Warlord. But everything else is quite normal, right? Dyron not opting for the Revitalize again for the Vengeance. But there you go, Susujin winning out the Red Tree battle for the Lethal Wanderer.
This is so interesting. Yeah, it was Concussive Blast previously, and that's usually what you see, but focusing mark, and it's funny because usually there are those iterations of the Franco where like they run the focusing mark too, but obviously most people now take the Concussive Blast. But if Zorn finds any of the targets early on with a focusing mark, it obviously will help with a burst. We already got a preview even of last time how much damage Chibi was doing, so what more if you throw in a little extra damage, you know, to go ahead and play that part. Now, pretty steady thing so far. Nothing too crazy aside from that almost first blood in the mid lane. So this will set things up really well for a first objective, the turtle take. Hooks as well from Edok, going to play a part in this fight. Chibi's going to jump in.
Ooh, a lot of damage. Over to Rin, Susujin. Walk up as well. Ejector ready though. Electrifying beats from Susujin under the turret. Now a splash of damage from Warlord. They're going to trade back to a bit more room for Warlord to clear it out. Skylar in the bottom lane now. Inspire the 1v1. Nets has to respect this. Nets actually wants to move forward. It becomes an even trade in the bottom lane.
I feel like this matchup between Nets and Skylar has been one of the most like action-packed, you know, laning like the 1v1s, especially early on. Like they hear, man, everybody's fighting in the mid lane. We want to fight, you know? So that's how that plays out. But this brings us now to the first turtle. RQ is going to go ahead and set things up smooth, dropping down the ultimate.
Good moves from Susujin. Red Tree battle. Chibi again. Real world manipulation. Zorn going to be caught in it. The immobility field. Dyron picks. It's an iron hook. And a bloody hunt from Edok.
What a hook.
All the way from downtown. That was max range.
That was on point.
That's Edok.
That's Edok's Franco right there. And, you know, there's not much you can do against that. Now here, Dyron should be fine. He does have the Vengeance, again, this time around with the Gatakacha. So, interesting how that first turtle played out. Of course, it went over to Team Vamos, but they lost the fight. And so for RQ, they build up. There's a Corrosive Scythe now for Skylar. Going to be the first item he locks in and prioritized. Meanwhile, Net's still working on that first one because he did also pick up those level 1 boots. So this goes back to the thing where Edok just plays around the hook. If they can get it set up, then that's great. If not, then you wait for Team Vamos to try to do the same thing, because once that flicker is available from Zorn, he might try to set it up.
You want to know a fun fact, Naisu?
Fun fact.
Throughout the ages of RQ Hoshi rosters, we always have a Franco god in the lineup.
Yeah?
Vin. Obviously Naomi. Nice. And then now we have Edok. Again, I mean, was that a hook? Was that a solo kill? I have no idea. Edok still has the bloody hunt. Skylar still has the crossbow of Tang. So it definitely seems to be a hook, right? There's no way that would just be picked off randomly.
Yeah,
or maybe over, I don't know.
I mean, he didn't have flicker, but yeah, it had to be a hook. Edok locked in, man. That was, you know, when you look at it, but that's going to give Skylar this advantage that he was already fighting for, and going to get a lot of extra gold now off that gold plating. So interesting thing for Team Vamos is how do they kind of respond to this, because, you know, Prodigy or not with this. Oh, hold on. Bottom lane.
The ejector to bring him back. Wow. Finally, he gets a taste of his own medicine. There you go. That's the pickoff game. And Team Vamos will be able to get a kill over. Rins dodging him from the stump. The real world manipulation will lock him down, though. But he will still be able to walk away. Chibi, a bit more damage with the arrow there, as Rins pops in the regeneration. And now Vamos with the control over the turtle.
All right, they're going to start it up. Again, they have an advantage with this one. They want to go 2 for 2. Holding it together. Zorn zoning out. They might force something out here.
RWM coming down. Retreat. No, it's Zorn this time who wins it out. So to deal with Jason AOG from Dyron to take the kill. He tanks up a bit of the shot, so to just able to escape. Smooth running him down. Dyron with a vengeance. Chasing Zorn down. Ejector ready. Zorn just walks away, and Smooth gets the double. RQ Hoshi just cannot get a turtle.
They can't get a turtle, but they will get some kills. But now Nets finally picking up the turret. Here comes Edok.
That's a bloody hunt. He's all alone for now, but he knows that Nets doesn't have. Oh, blank iron hook. That's the one you don't expect to miss, but that's the one that Edok misses. Nets gets away.
It's kind of amazing how it works, right? I know all the Franco players know. The point blank ones you don't hit, the far ones you do.
Electrifying beat, Smooth is healing through all the damage. Sutsujin will have to just back away, and Vamos take back the control of the game with this momentum.
Just like that, too. Team Vamos able to go ahead and diminish the gold lead that RQ built up in the early portion of the game. And now it's pretty much even Stevens. You know, they are going to be able to continue to test for the objective, the third turtle that does come up. RWM held on here from Warlord. Will have to go ahead and back off a little bit. Dyron tanky enough, but this is going to be a crucial part why I feel like RQ Hoshi definitely wants to go ahead and contest for that turtle and make it work. You know, lock it in if they can. But if they decide not to, it's not the end of the world. Team Vamos can go for 3 for 3 for the turtles, and then RQ Hoshi looks elsewhere. This is also where we start to see where that transition for Skylar, now that he's got 2 items, he's got the Golden Staff now, alongside that Corrosive Scythe. He's going to be a big part of some of these skirmishes and team fights that do break out if he can get the airtime with the Crossbow of Tang. And meanwhile, Rins 2, where he sets up the real-world manipulation, is going to be crucial. We're 10 seconds away from that turtle. Positions already happening here, but Chibi will stay topside, pushed in into that tier 1. There's a hook.
Iron Hook over to Zone of Bloody Hunt as well. Skylar will be able to get all the tags, all the weakness points. Crossbow attack ready with the real revelation. Oh, Warlord gets stuck with AOG. Sutsujin electrifying beats. Now it's Skylar dishing out damage. Oh, Sutsujin to fade away. Last hit doesn't get it. Skylar with a double.
Chibi
That's very low. Able to run away from that, but gets slowed down. Chibi needs one more hit, but he gets taunted by Dyron. Rins a few more shots of the Void Blast, but Chibi is able to walk away. 4-for-1 trade. Chibi. That's a dangerous game. Gets Rins with a flicker forward to take Chibi down. And Skylar gets the turret. Finally, Sutsujin will get a turtle.
It's one of those things where you're like, is this the right choice? No, it's not Chibi. Not only did he go for the wrong target or couldn't capitalize on the kill, but then gets punished for overstaying on his side of the jungle. So they lose a whole lot in that fight. Now RQ Hoshi, you know, when I said it was even Stevens, they heard that and said, no, not anymore. 3K ahead now, plus that last turtle of the game. Holy Crystal picked up by Sutsujin, so now he's going to hurt even more on this Joy. And so advantages for RQ Hoshi. Massive right now. Skylar sees 4 from Team Vamos. They'll go ahead and back off here.
Wow, Skylar has actually opted to go for the Golden Staff. So that's 3-item power spike. Almost gets that hook in the bush. Zorn, good read to space out just a bit more. This is actually not the most common build, but it is the build that Skylar has gone for most of the time in the M6 World Championship. He always likes to go for the Golden Staff. Usually we see Windtalker or even Malefic Gun here. Unstoppable. Okay, Force used up. Dyron just walks up and dashes away. Sutsujin? No, all right, they're chilling.
At this point, you know, I feel like Team Vamos needs to bring it down a little bit. Because of that whole last team fight, it feels like things got a little too chaotic for them. They need to kind of, chill down a little bit. Hook's not going to land there. You always got to catch your breath when that hook is going out, you know? And
nail biter.
Yeah, it is. And for Team Vamos, they're feeling it. You know, they're biting the nails right now because of just how much of the scaling is happening for RQ Hoshi, and it's not happening for them. They definitely need to buy some more time, and I feel like this is also where it gets a little bit difficult for Zorn because we just saw it. You know, if he can go in with the Unstoppable Force and get the ejector off, that's great, but then honestly, with this kind of lead, he gets blown up so quickly, too, that he's just kind of out of the picture. There he is. He does show himself, but that tier 2 does go down.
Yeah, and there's no trade on the board right now. RQ just cruising through some of these turrets up top, getting the far lane control. That's the Malefic Gun we were expecting as 3rd item, but he picks it up as 4th. So, yeah, that's a Fed 1-1 right now, man. Great moves from Zorn, though, to actually just space away from these hooks.
He's going to have to right now. He's also going to be the one front side alongside with Smooth. We'll see if they actually contest this. Sutsujin getting in position. It's being held here by Skylar. They could force the fight. A couple flickers available. That hook won't land, but they go in.
RWM already. Sony Warlord in the back. Dyron popping a vengeance, but Nets will be able to deal with him. Zorn caught in the midst of it all. Skylar will be able to jump in. That's a buddy. Chibi again with a retribution. But Sutsujin takes the killing spree over. Skylar's on the chase under the turret. Needs one more. It's a double for Sutsujin. But for some... Enoch tries to go for the flicker play. Doesn't get it. It was together with Rins. It was a flicker slow, but it was not enough to take anyone down.
Man, he landed them earlier in the game, but these ones he won't be on point with unless he gets one here. They do hold the Lord. They take care of it quickly. RQ Hoshi, they lost the objective, but they'll win that fight on exchange and really just kind of negate the push that was coming through with that Lord. But Chibi, you know, against it, able to secure that at least for now, but they are going to lose the tier 2 now in mid lane, and they're back to the drawing board to try to find a way to turn the tide in this game, because right now RQ Hoshi pulling very far ahead, 6K up now.
All right, nice. So this is the part of the game where we actually get to talk about the pattern. I don't think it's a pattern anymore. You know, game 1, you could be like, all right, you know, might be lucky. That retry win. Game 2 happens all over again. He got stopped 10 minutes.
Yep.
Game 3, they're winning, and it's still only 1 turtle. And that was the one that was for free. So Sutsujin hasn't gotten a single retry win, at least on neutral objective, right? He got a Lethal Wanderer win.
Can we count that?
If we do, that's 2.
All right.
Yeah.
We can count that because, yeah, you got to give it up. Even when Chibi is down, he's still able to actually go for that retry. You got to be able to respect that. And that's also why they've been prioritizing the Suyo. This is one of the heroes. You know, before it was, you know, the Lings or the Hayabusas that really helped you do that. Well, now Suyo's the flavor of the, I would say, year, month, whatever it is, the patch. And that's the thing. So even if he's down, he's still able to go ahead and contest. And if he continues to do that, it might buy Team Vamos enough time in this game number 3 where they possibly turn the tide. And honestly, for Nets has been able to farm up pretty well. He's still quite a bit down in terms of against Skylar, but as long as he gets the spacing to work with and doesn't get caught out, he's only got a flicker, then they might be able to shred down some of that front line in a couple minutes. You know, they still got to buy some time. They're not really in the fighting form yet. And even with this Lord coming up here in less than a minute, it is still a decision that they have to make. Is it worth us putting the team in danger and an opportunity for us to get crashed down on, especially that there's a Gatakacha across from you? That's, I think, the question that Team Vamos has to ask themselves, because that could change the course, obviously, of the series, where maybe they decide to let it go and then they'd have to defend, or do they want to actually go and fight it out? 2 big items being picked up here for Team Vamos. Divine Glaive now for Warlord. Chibi with that Malefic Roar. Still, Enoch is going to do this all the time. Yeah. You know, you miss all the hooks you don't take, pretty much, at this point.
Yep, that's true, you know. So he's going to continuously shoot it out. This is a retry bait, right? But Suyo was actually not there. Skylar just picks up the purple buff. They were trying to go for the retry bait. No one was actually there. So I think they should be aware that the Suyo hasn't revealed himself in a while now. That's an Iron Hook over to Smooth, the Bloody Hunt as well. Oh, instant crossbow of Tang! He bought the winner crowd a bit too late. Sutsujin runs him down. A great angle to get the real world manipulation. And Skylar gets a double. RQ Hoshi, they take control of the game. He hasn't been landing the shots, but once he does, it looks like it might be game over.
Might be game over here. They're going to work on the base turn to the bottom side, and they post up ready to end the game.
Warlord trying to divert the minion waves into the top lanes, over the flicker backwards. The minion waves will be dealt with, but that's just one. There's another wave in the bottom lane. RQ looking for a Warlord with a splash of damage. In the mid lane they go. Base turret going to be taken down, slowly but surely. Warlord really low. Sutsujin looking for the angle. The Iron Hook will go and whip again. The glorious pathway from Smooth as he respawns back in the game. And RQ Hoshi will say, we are happy with turret number 3 in the mid lane. We will go to the Lord.
They'll go to the Lord. They'll secure themselves to the objective. And Team Vamos, I asked the question earlier, do they want to go and actually try to contest things out? They got a nice wave pushing up top, but it's that hook that still set things up, started the fight. And you mentioned it, Chibi was in position, but then he got spotted out too and had to respond.
For a second there, Naisu, I got deja vu to the CFU game.
Did you?
It was a 1-1. It was 2 members. Hey, I would be lying if I said I wasn't shaking.
You know what? I think a lot of people can't count out any Malaysian team at this point, but here we are. Lord pushing into the mid lane. We'll see if they're able to defend against this.
He gets a taunt over to Chibi. Baits up the skill 1. That's an Iron Hook and the crossbow tang ready. Skylar can wait out the winner crown. Eat up with a flicker out. Now crossbow tang to Smooth. Now to Warlord. Skylar's going crazy with a crossbow and tang. The immortality buy from Edok. Sutsujin buys the immortality as well. Now Nets free hitting. It's going to be Sutsujin to take the kill. That's a monster kill, even with the shutdown. RRQ Hoshi will prevail 2-1.
And the Kingdom rises, cutting down the hometown villains with a decisive strike. RQ sends Vamos to the lower bracket, proving their dominance once more.
A phenomenal performance from both these teams. RQ Hoshi came in swinging in game number 1. Game number 2, Vamos It's the high highs and the low lows of Vamos. When they get rolling, when they have the momentum, you see a 10-minute game.
Yep.
But when they don't, you see game number 1 and 3.
Definitely a great performance, great series. Let's throw it over to the panel to break down the game.
He is going to be Skylar.
Assigned to always hunt you down. But that's another thing, I feel. Like, from Team Vamos' side, you couldn't expect anyone to just penetrate the backlines of RRQ Hoshi and hunt Skylar down, because there are other heroes from RRQ Hoshi who would anticipate that from you and go ahead, just throw out all of their AoE skills to make sure that you gain no access.
Some interesting interaction here. So when Eve uses the real world manipulation and then you stun her, she doesn't get stunned. She just can't tap the screen.
Yes.
However, it looks like when Valentina gets hit, she gets stunned.
Oh, she has the real world manipulation up. Then
Yeah.
she gets stunned.
Because I saw the Gato Kacha land the Avatar of the Guardian. I don't know if Warlord just canceled it early or that attribute of being CC immune is
It's
not
not-
registered
exclusive to
Eve.
Eve.
Oh.
It's very possible.
I could be wrong. Like Warlord could have canceled it. I haven't played a lot of Valentina.